Hi there, Justin Pritchard here for Autotrader.ca, and today a really quick video that I hope will help you to take the stress and frustration right out of learning and maybe more importantly teaching the manual transmission for the very first time. We're going to use this Dodge to demonstrate the tip, but it applies to any car with a manual transmission. So we know driving a manual transmission is awesome, and if you're like me, you haven't ever owned a car with an automatic, but you also know that at times, learning or teaching the manual transmission can be stressful and frustrating, and I think that's where this simple tip can help. And this tip is special to me because it's the one tip I never got when I was learning with my mom and dad on the old Honda Civic many years ago, and it would have saved me a ton of frustration. But since I picked it up years later, it's worked very well for me in each of the dozens of times I've taught a friend or relative how to drive stick, and I hope it helps you out too. And so here's the tip. It's important to understand that the clutch pedal is not an on-off switch. Don't treat it like a light switch with only two positions. It's more like a dimmer switch. It can be in one position at the top, the opposite position at the bottom, or anywhere in between, and that's the key part. When I was a teenager, and I'm not alone in this as it turns out, I thought the clutch pedal was simply a release mechanism that allowed me to move the gear lever, and that's it. Not knowing any better, I thought it only had two positions, locked or unlocked. Back then, it was a pretty honest mistake. Here's why. So, why do so many novice drivers get that wrong, myself having been one of them? Well, for one, the clutch pedal is just this funny pedal that you use your wrong foot for. But if you think a little bit deeper, as a casual observer sitting on the passenger side, watching someone operate a manual transmission, what do you see from that driver's left leg when they're working the clutch? The answer is that you only see the big motions that cause the entire leg to move, all the way down, all the way up, all the way on, all the way off. What you're not seeing from the passenger side is those subtle adjustments made at that hinge between your foot and your ankle that are responsible for using the entire range of the clutch pedal's travel. In summary, remembering and reinforcing that tip, that the clutch has a full range of motion and is not a two-way switch, has made a dramatic improvement every time I've ever used it. Alright, so you've made it to the end of the video, and I've got two more bonus tips for you that have always helped me out. Hopefully they help you out as well. And if you've got some of your own tips for teaching or learning the manual transmission, let us know down in the comments section below. The first of them is to understand that the manual transmission novice is primarily concerned and horrified by one thing, and that is stalling the car, because if you're learning how to drive a manual transmission and you stall the car, that's pretty much the worst thing in the universe. And as such, the first thing you should do when you get that student buckled up and ready to go is to have them intentionally stall the car on purpose a couple of times like this. I haven't done that for a while, but the thing is, it's part of learning, it's completely harmless. That novice is going to do it over and over and over again, so get them started by teaching them how to do that a couple of times on purpose so that they're less afraid of it. We're going to have to stop. And the second bonus tip is friction point exercises, and those work like this. What I'm going to do is put the car in first gear, clutch pedal to the floor, my right foot, my right leg, which you can see here, is not touching the gas pedal at all. It is flat on the floor. And I'm on a flat surface, so I'm not rolling back. So first gear, clutch to the floor, right foot off of all the pedals. And all you're going to do is tell that student to use that hinge at their foot and ankle to just ever so slightly release the clutch until the car moves at all, an inch. Let the clutch up, move an inch or two, press it back down. What I find helpful here is tell the student to pretend that they've just stepped in dog poop with their left foot, and that kind of illustrates the pace that they should use to release that clutch pedal. So just a little bit off the clutch, very slowly and gently, get the car moving that inch or two, press it back down. Slowly release the clutch, slowly release the clutch, get the car moving an inch or two, you can probably see that out the window, and press it back down to stop the car. And that'll teach that student how to work that all-important friction point, how to feel the clutch out, what it's doing, and that's a vital part of learning too, and definitely something that I've seen make a massive improvement right away almost every single time. Well, that's it for this time. I hope you found those tips to be informative and useful. If you've got any of your own to help your fellow manual transmission rookies learn how to drive the manual transmission for the very first time, please leave them down in the comment section below. And until next time, I'm Justin Pritchard. Take care and drive safe. We've just run over a cake. Looks like some of this is still... That's not bad. The icing is... Have you tried this icing? Oh my god, that's good.